What I'm about to show you is very disturbing, and I think that people need to slow down and really think this through. If you are the person or the people that are thinking that Taylor is in the wrong and that Dakota's just fine, and this footage is proof that Taylor is the problem.
Stop! Hey, what's going on? Oh my gosh.
Nothing.
She's hammered.
And so is he.
I'm sober.
But drugs are not
How about
sober.
If you didn't catch what she responded, she said that the Ruggs are sober, implying that he may not have been drinking, but something. He was doing something.
How about we separate for now? You need to just calm down.
You do it.
Hey, stop. Stop. Just
We're not doing this.
Okay, but he threw me out in the garage.
Because she is attacking the crap out of
You threw me in the garage.
We went out on a girls' night. You said that, right?
Yeah, he picked me up from girls' night.
And then what happened?
And he was me out the whole way home.
So when you describe that to me, about what?
I guess having fun with the girls. And he was going to a concert, but he was like, we're not going to a concert now. And he came home. And then we were fighting. And we were fighting at each other. And then I was going at him, I guess hitting him. And then he pushed me into the kids' stuff. And then I went ballistic because he pushed me so hard. And then I fought back. And then we were just fighting. And I just let him out. I'm scared.
About what?
Him.
Like, what were you, like... I'm just trying to get...
He's fighting back. I peed my pants because I was so scared of him in my garage. He pushed me into the wooden thing, so I reacted. I threw the wooden thing at him, and when he came in, I threw everything else at him. I was scared.
Okay, I can talk to you more about it.
So the people that have been trying to say that Taylor is the one who's in the wrong and she's violent and she's abusive and that there is nothing to excuse her behavior, yes, it's true that she should not be behaving in that way. However, what is chilling is when we put this against the footage that we have of Gabby Petito and Brian Landry. And now in both instances, the women have been perceived as the person being in the wrong. And the most chilling part of putting these pieces together is that in both situations, Gabby Petito and Taylor Frankie Paul are nearly inconsolable. They can barely speak. They are hysterical and they are so emotional. But all of the interactions with the police and Brian Landry and the police and Dakota, they're nearly identical in terms of the way that they emotionally present. Dakota is cool. He's calm. He's collected. He is putting on a front as if he's this nice guy who's just in the presence of this psycho person. The only way that he differs from Brian Landry is that Brian Landry still to some degree is putting out some form of protection against Gabby. So he's making excuses for her just the same as Gabby is making excuses for him. Whereas in this situation, Dakota does none of that. He really wants to be the victim. He really wants to make sure that it's seen and it's noted that he's been hurt and that he's possibly hurt more than Taylor is, and really disregarding any of the context that he was being controlling, that he had been upset with her simply because she was out having fun with her friends, which is something that she should be doing in the aftermath of the dissolution of her marriage. She was in a place where she needed community. She needed her friends. She needed to have these emotional outlets. And here's Dakota expecting and enforcing and demanding that she's living in a different manner. And when she's not, he feels compelled to control her and the way that she should be reacting and the things that she should be doing. And the same thing when you hear Taylor talk about what happened and how the fight started, even when it is mentioned that she gets thrown in the garage, it's because he feels entitled to control her behavior. She was raging, she was doing this, she was doing XYZ. And so in his mind, he has justified throwing her in the garage. He has no problem, no issue with using force. And of course, to the cops and to other people, they're only going to hear that it was a measure, an attempt to establish safety. But the truth is that all of this was happening because of his behavior with Taylor. Taylor was reacting to the entitlement, to the control, and to the demand and expectation of what she should or shouldn't be doing. And what people aren't talking about is Dakota's entitlement, because as a reminder, Dakota is in Taylor's home. This isn't his house. This isn't even his life. They've only been dating for less than 6 months at this point. And yet he feels so entitled to tell her what to do, how to be, and when she doesn't live up to his expectations, he feels entitled and compelled to control her and to enforce things against her in her own home. And the people that are so upset about Taylor throwing chairs and then about Taylor getting upset because Dakota was trying to console her child, remember, Taylor is in her trauma brain, and what her brain is perceiving is that one, this man threw her, scared her to the point that she peed her pants, and then two, now he's trying to step in and be perceived as this good person who just wants to console a child and appear as the better person in this dynamic. Her trauma brain is responding to the dissonance and the injustice of how dare you put your hands on me and hurt me, and now you want to come off as the good guy to my child. People are missing the crossing and violations of boundaries of Dakota against Taylor. I'm going to show you a clip of Dakota and how he speaks to the police, and then I'm going to show you how Gabby Petito and Brian Landry were in the body cam footage when they had the cops called on them.
I was actually a little bit scared for my life there because you're heavy as shit, and your daughter's right here on the couch. So I'm freaking out about that. One of the chairs did hit her a little bit, and then I was trying to help her, and she was still going after me.
I'm at a point where I basically have to make an arrest, and it's required by Utah law that I do so.
Oh, wow.
And it's a domestic violence thing. So I do have to ask, it's a personal question. It's about, like, as far as the nature of your guys' relationship, you guys have been together, did you say 5 months?
6 months.
6 months? And then in that time, have you guys been intimate?
Please, it's gonna give me so much anxiety. Can we just have like a driving ticket?
Sort of squabbling over a phone. I want to say that he was trying to grab her phone, and I'm not sure exactly why. And then it seems like he had sort of blocked the one side of the van and sort of wasn't letting her in. And
you haven't admitted to striking her. She has not admitted to you striking her. The witness did not see you strike her. So at this point, you're the victim of a domestic assault. That even if, I don't want to take this small 20. What is she?
Yes, a 22-year-old.
22-year-old female in jail.
jail.
You could definitely defend yourself against, but at the same time, we can't say because you're a male and she's a female, we can't treat this different than if you were the male hitting her. We got to treat it the same.
Yeah, no.
So I'm in a tough spot. So unless you have an idea about how she can not go to jail and be separated, do you have friends in town? How far do you want to go with this? Like, you know why the domestic assault code is there. It's there to protect people, especially the reason why they don't give us discretion on these things is because too many times women who are at risk want to go back to their abuser. They just wanted him to stop, and they don't want to have to be separated. They don't want him charged. They don't want him to go to jail, and then they end up getting worse and worse treatment, and then they end up getting killed. In no way, shape, or form that I can perceive does what happened here, a little slap fight between fiance's